and welcome to My Xbox and Me, episode 452. I am one of your hosts, MC Fixer, alongside the one and only Matt P. Video.
Hello,
Again?
hello.
You
God, we're on a hell of a streak, and guys, it's about to be broken.
Wait, what? Why? What do you have to tell us?
You're about to record extra after this, and I am not.
Oh, okay. Well, that doesn't count. That doesn't. Stop
enough.
breaking the illusion of different shows, all right?
Sorry,
They don't record
sorry.
the same days. God damn it. That comes out on a Sunday. This comes out on a Friday. What
There's
are you
no
doing,
way
Matt?
in hell any of you can be asked to do a costume change halfway through this thing.
Oh,
No,
now you
but that's
said
not
it.
the point. That's
You
not
don't
the
think I
point.
would?
Sometimes I take my jumper off just so it looks like I'm wearing something different.
I will put
Anyway.
a different hat on. Do not think I won't.
And the one and only Too Fresh Crash.
Hello.
Crash, please. It's been years, dude. It's been years. Can you please give me something more, please? Like, I just want like a hello. What's going on? Nothing. No.
What's going on, everybody? How's everybody doing?
And Despawn's here too.
Yeah! Woo!
Jesus, this is gonna be an interesting week. Let me tell you.
See, there's two sides of the same coin there, right? Because Despawn was so overly as enthusiastic that his
Couldn't hear
mic
him.
noise gate
Uh-huh.
cut off, and so actually probably worse of an intro than Crash's. So there we go.
Okay.
Sure.
Woo! Yay! Hi, everyone.
Whatever
Nailed
you
it.
say, and whatever. This is My Xbox and Me, our weekly Xbox podcast right here on youtube.com/My Xbox and Me and all podcast services. Remember, you can support the show financially, patreon.com/MCFixer. I think we're having a pretty good start of the year. If I do say so myself, I think we're putting out a lot of good content. Despawn's got reviews. We got My D&D and Me. We got live streams. We've got podcasts and extra podcasts. I'm just saying, I don't push too hard on the Patreon too often, but I think if you've been listening to this show long enough, you should consider supporting us financially. I do think that at this point. I do think so. We've given you this show is usually ad-free as well, as far as I'm aware.
True.
Again, I'm still trying to figure out ads on Podbean. I don't know. That's still a thing that scares me.
Yeah.
But what? Anyway, make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel if you haven't already. And live streams, I don't know. Me and the boys are going to have a conversation after this because we are not doing very well with those. But we'll talk about that later. Shout out to our Patreon producer, Aaron Gard. We do appreciate you. Matt,
Yo.
12-hour stream.
Ho.
Is it happening?
What was the date that we proposed?
Ah, Jesus Christ, Matt.
It's not
Please
happening.
help me out, Matt. We said 8. No, we said the 9th. No, we
the
didn't.
9th. I've got
16th.
it in the diary, guys.
The
I'm all
9th?
about it. I'm all about it.
So it is happening.
I just want to point out,
You haven't been confirmed yet.
I've been told the 16th from these two
I thought it was the
knuckleheads.
16th. I thought it was the 16th because we decided it was the day, because Mother's Day is the 17th, right?
No, Mother's Day is the 10th.
Oh, no, yeah, then I told you the wrong date, Crush. That's on me. Damn, that's on me.
And I also can't do the 16th, so that's fine.
That's right. You couldn't. You're going to a concert.
Yeah, rock and roll, baby.
What a loser. Can you do the 9th, Crush?
Yeah, I can do that.
Perfect.
be able to.
12-hour stream is happening the 9th of what month? March. Make
Which
sure you're
year?
there. We're gonna be trying to raise money for the channel so we can pay for an editor. We're also gonna be pushing some goals on Patreon and on Twitch, and we've got a bunch of stuff lined up, which we hope you guys will come and watch. That's the 9th. We want as many of you there. We'll be live over on Twitch and YouTube, so come and hang out and play games with us and have a good time. Will one of those goals be Halo with the boys? No.
Oh,
That
You know.
is that a lie? Maybe.
Is that a lie? Maybe.
wow.
We're going to show this week. Crash, Matt, Elden Ring, Shadow of the Entry trailer and release date dropped. I think I said the entry wrong. Is that right?
It's
That's
a tree.
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 Thank you. As you can tell, obviously, you know, for me, I'm a big Elden Ring like top 5 game of that year, guaranteed.
Yeah,
Like,
the
you
year
already
it came
know.
out. Where'd you put it again on your
Top
list?
5. Top 5.
Top five.
Number
How
5.
much time did you put a lot of time into that game as well, if I remember.
I mean, I see right now you're taking the mickey out of how much time I put into Elden Ring.
Yeah.
But does that not say more about you as a human being than it does me? My time is clearly worth more than your time because I put a good 5-6 hours into that game, meaning that those hours were worth so much more than your pathetic 80 hours that you put into the game.
Or you couldn't just find time that year to put into games other than RP, and so you had to struggle to find a list at the end of the year. And Elden Ring happened to be something that people wouldn't really call you out for putting in your top 10 list. So you're like, I can slot that in perfectly. Or that might be just maybe a possibility.
Or hear me out.
Yeah.
You could just shut the fuck up and not call me out like that.
I apologize. We could go for that one.
Oh, cool. This fucking guy. Boy, let's talk about it. I mean, it's coming out. Release date is June 21st. It is the largest expansion to date. It's coming with a statue. I did see that, which is
It's
nuts.
collector's edition.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
When have we ever seen a collector's edition for a DLC?
Never?
Well, I'm sure there must have been at some point, right? There must have been somebody screaming in the comments right now.
Someone's always screaming in the comments.
Well,
That's true. That's true.
And we love you for it.
Not sure about that. Matt, talk to me. Are you excited for this?
so excited. So excited. Am I going to start a brand new Let's Play? Am I going to start a brand new playthrough? Absolutely, I think. Yeah, and then make my way to it. Yeah, I think so. I'm so excited. And I love Elden Ring. I have no idea what the lore is. I can watch that trailer. It's basically gibberish to me too. Like, who gives a shit? But more Elden Ring, yes, please.
That's kind of how I felt. I was like, let me see what the hype's about. And I was like, I don't know what's going on.
The only bit that I kind of saw and remembered, and it gave me a horrible, horrible singing feeling, is the egg with the hand coming out of it. Because that boss can die in a fire.
That boss was easy.
No, that boss is horrendous.
It was easy.
I hate you. I hate you.
Skill issue.
Yeah.
That was definitely the boss I struggled with most throughout the entire game.
Really?
Yeah.
More than Melania?
Yeah.
Wow.
Way more.
Damn.
That's shocking.
Yeah.
Maybe now it's
Crazy.
a gap.
Whoa!
Yeah, I can't believe it.
Despawn. Remember that boss with the thing and the person and the gigantic axe thing? Remember that?
Yeah, it took me a couple of goes to beat malaria too. Yeah,
They were close for a while there. Then the axe came out.
Hey,
Completely
Despawn, I'm
ruined it.
also hearing this game's map is the size of the Limgrave as well. Crazy,
Wow,
right?
that is crazy.
Wow.
The size of Limgrave.
Wow, yeah, I know, crazy, right?
Because Limgrave has a size as well, and I can't believe that the size was the size that it was.
It was so big, but the whole DLC to be that big, that's crazy.
It's
Shut up.
crazy.
But importantly, that is big, and it's like $40, right? Like they've said that this is like a significant expansion, and so it's always difficult to judge, I guess, like DLC and its worth and how long it's going to take you and all this stuff. But it seems like they are leaning on the fact that it will be significant, worth the money, and I think it kind of goes to show like people trust From Software. Like, I think if Suicide Squad came up with their DLC and it's 40 quid, everybody would be like, haha, no.
You really don't like that game, do you?
All right, IGN, calm down.
Chance magnets. Just to suck a bunch of Suicide Squads away.
Chris, what are you most excited about for this DLC? They're not calling it expansion, right? It's a DLC.
It is DLC,
Yeah. I don't know what they're like. I've seen the word DLC and expansion being thrown around. I don't know what FromSoft is regarding it as. But yeah, I'm super excited. I'm super excited to play in that world again. I actually started another playthrough, a co-op playthrough yesterday. Why are you shaking your head, Fix?
Because I've provided you with codes for games that you are nowhere near close to being beaten.
I'm still this is a co-op experience that I'll play like an hour or two every now and again.
That's what I need you to
It's
do
not
with
taken away
Like
from
a Dragon,
anything.
yeah? You ain't beating that otherwise.
You don't know that.
Okay.
I'm farther along in that game than you are right now.
No, I don't think you are.
You sure?
What chapter are you?
Same place I was last time.
What chapter's that?
I don't remember at this point.
Okay, I don't want you to spoil it for me. Okay.
Is the last thing you did was the dating bit, or did you get past?
No,
the dating bit?
I played today. I did 5
then
hours
you probably
today.
passed me at this point. You probably passed me at this point.
Yeah, exactly. What's your goddamn math and talking to me?
I apologize. You know what? I won't make a comment about you at all for the rest of the podcast.
That's right. You don't disrespect me like that ever again, okay? Okay.
Ever? Don't know about that one.
Yeah, I'm really excited. We got to see a couple of glimpses of some bosses and some different abilities, some Ash of Wars. A lot of really cool stuff to be seen. I'm excited. They said there's going to be side bosses and side dungeons and stuff like that. So a lot of the stuff people liked in the main game will be there for the DLC, and I'm super, super excited. I think the story bit is interesting, and it is what a lot of people guessed it would be, and what a lot of people guessed the expansion would be, with the egg in the hand and Michaela and all that stuff. So I think it'll be a good time for everyone for the most part.
The egg in the hands, like that part for me was like top tier.
Yeah.
Like I said, it gave me that sinking feeling. I didn't like it, but I'm looking forward to it.
Top 10 eggs of all time.
Yep.
Should we be putting a shift into the 12-hour live stream where Fixer plays and we co-op him through it?
No.
How many people can you have in one co-op game?
Out
4.
One.
I actually have no clue.
I know there's a modded version on PC that you can do where you can have more.
I have it on Xbox. I don't have it on PC.
Hey, Bandai.
No, that's not even.
That's not even Bandai anymore, is it?
I'm happy to add that as a stretch goal if that's what some people would want to watch. Cool, but I would much rather be playing. I'd much rather be playing Mario Party with you guys or something enjoyable.
I'd rather us all install Lethal Company and play some Lethal Company.
That's already installed.
Fix, why are you such a hater for Lethal Company?
Never played the game. I don't know.
I've never seen you like push back against a game you've never played before as much as you do when I mention Lethal Company. It bothers me.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. I think I missed the hype of it. So now I'm just like, who cares?
Me? Still haven't played it. I want to get in there.
No, me either. I haven't played it either.
It's a good game.
That's a good game.
Yeah. I've noticed that Matt P is a bitch, by the way.
Whoa.
That was out of nowhere. Just taking straight left, right, and right.
Jesus.
Can you elaborate on that one?
Yeah, I mean, I
just felt like calling him a bitch. No,
personally, I don't feel like you need to, and it's fine. I think we can move on to the next story.
Do you know what it is? I've seen Matt doing TikToks now, so I kind of just want that to be like brought into the content again.
Wow.
Sorry, man. I forgot this is not MXAM Extra. My bad. That should be professional. I'm sorry. I'm really, really sorry. Moving on. This week's dashboard. Bit of old news, to be honest with you. Like, kind of very old news, if we're being totally honest. But we haven't spoken about it, so we're going to. 4 Xbox games were confirmed to be coming to multiple platforms. They were if you listen to our podcast after the Xbox podcast thingamajiggy thing, they were the games that we assumed they were. The first game is Pentiment. That is now on PlayStation, Switch, and PS4, and it came February 22nd. I saw a post going around on Twitter from Xbox fans comparing, like, you know, like the sites that do like trophies or achievements. And they were like comparing those numbers as like to say that no one's playing the game on PlayStation. And I thought, what a weird thing to compare.
Yeah, it's like, how long's this game? What, this game just dropped on PlayStation, right?
Yeah.
And how long's it been on Xbox?
A year, over a year.
Yeah, just jeez, fanboys, man.
More importantly, if it doesn't do well on PlayStation, that isn't good for Xbox players. That's bad for Pentiment and that team and Obsidian. It's good if it does well on PlayStation.
Yeah.
So be happy.
I agree. The other thing that I did see that I saw today actually was that Pentiment runs at 120 frames on PlayStation 5 and only runs at 60 frames on Series X. They have said that there's going to be an update that does up it to 120 on Xbox, but the pure fact of the matter is, as of today of recording this podcast, yes, it's a 2D game that doesn't really matter about frame rate, but the facts are still the facts, my friends. You get a better experience on PlayStation for an Xbox-owned game. Crazy, Crash.
Yeah, I guess.
That's the reason I didn't finish Pentiment. The 60 frames was doing my nutting.
It's too slow.
It's why I didn't start it. Like, I haven't played it yet, and I'm like, I don't think I will at this point unless I get that 120. So yeah,
gotta buy it on PlayStation. This is what Xbox wanted. Xbox wanted people to spend money on the game instead of playing it through Game Pass.
No,
so like, you guys are gonna get a downgraded version, and if you buy the game, you get the upgraded version.
No, I'm only playing Helldivers, and yeah. So until they bring it to Xbox, and then I'm never playing it again.
That's never coming to Xbox.
No, it isn't.
I will say the amount of people that were actually mad because Pentiment launched with 120 frames on PlayStation was crazy.
Yeah, as well. Because
the uproar.
Did they not come out and say it was a bug as well? Like the reason it's only got 60, that wasn't intentional. It just, so they'll patch
I kind of struggle to believe that nobody's pointed that out up until now.
Yeah, I agree.
Well, if nobody knew it was supposed to be able to be 120 frames per second, how could you point that out?
We're sticking with this point way too long. Who cares? Next game, Hi-Fi Rush also made the jump over to PlayStation. That is coming March 19th, which is relatively soonish. Not coming to Switch, as we all predicted this game would be making its way to Switch. Gotta assume it will be on Switch 2 next year when that releases, right? Like, it seems like a very strange thing not to. It must be a hardware issue that it can't run on Switch at a level that Microsoft were comfortable with releasing it on, right?
Yeah, you think so. Like, you've got to think that maybe like just stable frame rate and audio and stuff like that, because obviously having synced audio is quite important
in a rhythm-based game. Yeah, I would say so.
Yeah, you think so? Yeah.
Go on, Crash.
I could also see this being a Nintendo thing of like, hey, why don't we wait for this and see if Thieves also isn't coming to Nintendo, to the Switch, and be like, hey, when the Switch 2 launches, we can have 2 Xbox launch titles with it or whatever.
Yeah, for me, it feels like a business decision in the sense of the contracts we're signing now for Switch 2, whatever that is. Like, we're not making deals about stuff going on Switch or whatever. That's at the end of its life cycle, and we're concentrating on the business of the next Switch. And so I would have thought that's been the case for a while. And by the time Microsoft came to Nintendo with a deal like this, they were like, okay, it goes on the next platform. It doesn't go on this platform.
Who's going to be excited? I think it's a terrible decision from Nintendo's point of view. Like, who's going to be excited to play Hi-Fi Rush on the Switch 2? And by that point, a 3-year-old game.
They don't care about that, though.
Nintendo fans. Not general gamers. Nintendo people who only play games on the Switch. Those little kids who run around with nothing but Switches are going to see a pirate game and they're going to get mad excited. They're going to see Hi-Fi Rush and see the silly cat and all the silly people. And you'll be like, wow, this is a cool game. I should play it. People will be excited. More so than if PlayStation were to do this decision, I think that would be a little bit silly, right? With Nintendo, I think the way their audience is, and they have a hardcore just Switch audience that isn't a general gaming audience, that I think this decision doesn't affect too much.
Yeah. No, I get you. And then the last game, obviously, we touched on CFEs there. Grounded. Grounded has made its way to PlayStation 5, PS4, and Switch, and will be cross-play with Xbox, PlayStation, Switch, and PC. Happy about this, Despawn? You're probably the biggest Grounded fan on the pod.
Yeah. Like, again, I thought that was...
Wait, what was you... Sorry, pause, rewind. Bring that back.
You're right. I did say it was my favorite games of all time.
About you, how did you a game that you specifically said was
top 10 game of all time?
Yeah,
for you.
I don't know. I don't want to speak for anyone else. Like, I know Matt put a lot of hours into it, so I don't want to just claim that.
The way you just it though was like you don't like the game.
I don't like
concerning.
it. I mean, it's on PlayStation. I don't like it anymore. No, absolutely not. It was solely. I don't want to just claim that fact. But I am. I'm the biggest fan on this podcast. I'm fine with this. Like 100%. Like, stick it on more platforms. Get more people in there. It's a fun.
And that wasn't the question. The question was more: are you excited?
Not more excited. I mean, like, again, I've played the game. I've put my hours in. I'm good. If I had friends that were only on PlayStation or only on Switch, then I'd be excited to jump in with them as well and show them the world. But I don't have those friends. I don't have friends. I have you guys. You're all I have.
we're work colleagues. I just need you to make that very clear.
True.
Oh my god, I have to. Do you know what? No, I'll save that story for extra. I have got the funniest. I have the funniest story.
Don't forget the
about
story.
Crash. I won't forget.
About me?
Yeah.
Ooh.
Oh, I don't like this.
Involves you.
Tune into extra.
We did get a question from Annabus who said, as much as I want to move past this topic, it would probably be good to ask, how do you feel about the just announced Grounded and Pentiment Switch ports? Honestly, I'm over it now. Like, I was angry at the time, obviously, as everyone, I'm sure people were very aware, very vocal against Xbox losing exclusives. But I think all, calmer heads prevail type situation. Let me stick to the question. I'm fine with it. It doesn't bother me in the slightest, especially for those two games specifically. But yeah, it isn't. It's just the start. I can promise you that. It is just the start.
Do you legitimately you think the Elder Scrolls 6 you think is going to go to PlayStation?
Elder Scrolls 6 is not a Xbox exclusive. Oh, Elder Scrolls, sorry. Yes, it is. I thought you were talking about Elden Ring there for a second. My bad. That's on me. Yes, I do. Yes.
You think it will?
Eventually, I don't think at launch. I think Xbox are now going to play with the method of game comes out exclusively on, and they can still say exclusive and blah, 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 blah for about a year, give or take on the game, but about a year. And as soon as they see that diagram dip, we're going to see those games launch on Switch 2 and PlayStation 100%. Yeah, I think it's a case of the floodgates are now open. And again, we'll talk about it in more detail about PlayStation, but PlayStation put out their press release about what's going on in their industry, right? And the comment I picked up on the most was our industry is changing. And I think that's just something, again, Dinosaur, I'm definitely an older gamer at this point, right? I'm slow in progressing. I've become that person, which is a shame because I never wanted to be that person. But I do definitely think Elder Scrolls 6, just like Starfield, eventually will be on PlayStation. Yes.
Yeah, maybe. I don't think so.
Oh, okay.
I think it'll be a hard sell to get them. I mean, it won't be a hard sell for Microsoft. They'll go wherever the money is, but it'll be a hard sell for the community to be like, okay, the AAA massive tentpole titles are going to start showing up everywhere.
I think that statement alone is bullshit and not you are bullshit, but the statement is because Sea of Thieves is a AAA game by Rare, which at the time was considered to be one of Microsoft's best studios. Like we're acting as if like Sea of Thieves wasn't Rare. We're acting like Grounded wasn't Obsidian. Like these are AAA games. It may not be looked at like it now, but they are.
I wouldn't argue that the AAA games.
They're AAA games. There's no way you can say they're not.
What?
Grounded.
They have Microsoft behind them. Yes.
The only game on this list that's not a AAA title to me is Pentiment,
which is from Obsidian.
But I'm not talking about this. But I'm not just talking about the studio. I'm talking about the resources that go into the game as well.
Grounded had like 16 developers on it.
Okay, but how much money went into it?
How much money do you think went into Pentiment?
A lot less than Grounded.
I would argue all of those, like if we're going by the industry term of AAA, all of those games are AAA. Not one of those games is not AAA. You have Microsoft money behind those games. There's no way you're arguing that those games are AAA. You can talk about from a design aspect, the difference in a consumer's view of AAA and indie and AA and all those stuff, and you'd have an argument there. But like if we're talking about the industry standard, those are AAA games.
Okay, let me just the term AAA is classified and used within video games industry, specifically higher budget, high profile games that are typically produced and distributed by a well-known publisher. Okay. These games often rank as blockbusters due to their extreme popularity. What do you think, Matt?
They don't ring AAA to me.
None of them.
Pentiment, Hi-Fi Rush, Grounded, no.
Huh.
I get what you're saying about having Microsoft backing, but I agree. I think it's a resource and money point, right? And those games are not Starfield. Those games are not insert other game that I can't think of. Call of Duty, bad example.
Out of interest, was Deadfall? What's the Deadfall? No, what's it called?
Redfall.
Was Redfall a AAA game? because it certainly was. It had a AAA budget with a AAA studio with AAA marketing. But the game did badly, so now we look at it and go, oh, they want a AAA game.
Oh, it was 100% a AAA game.
No. I would put it as a AAA. Suicide Squad is a AAA game. Performed badly.
Oh, wait. What's the difference between a Redfall and a Hi-Fi Rush?
The
size of the team, the marketing.
The marketing was huge for Hi-Fi Rush. It got shadow dropped on Microsoft. What are you talking about? Are you nuts?
It got shadow dropped.
But wait. A difference in marketing tactic doesn't mean
tactic.
a while.
But
if you shadow drop a game now, you cannot be a AAA game.
No, that's not what he's saying. That's not what he's saying. But the pure fact that they had this much belief that they were going to market in the way of shadow dropping it on their first big showing, do you don't think that's a big thing?
It's a big thing. It doesn't make a game AAA.
No, that's no. We're not saying. I'm not saying it makes it AAA. I'm saying that's a portion of what makes it AAA.
What is the cost of making Redfall?
The
answer is going to be you don't know. And then what's the cost of making Hi-Fi Rush?
Absolutely. Like, you're absolutely right in the sense that we don't know the budgets, right? But you've got to make assumptions that Redfall was a significantly more expensive game than Hi-Fi Rush.
How are you forming the assumptions? I'm just curious. I just want to know where you're coming up with the.
It's a fair question, but it's just a vibe, right? I don't know. Like, you just like common sense, I guess.
Bro. Yo, is that what we do now? It's just a vibe.
I think absolutely calling something a AAA game is absolutely a vibe.
From a consumer aspect, 100%.
Yeah, but not from a business perspective.
But then I don't think they use it in a business perspective term.
Yes, they do. Yves Galmont come out and said it was a quadruple A game.
All right, well, that's Yves. I mean, what are you going to do?
You don't think he went in front of the team making the game and he's like, you guys are building a quadruple A game here. We're going to give you as much money as you need and as much time. Of course, he says that every meeting he meets with the team.
And that feels like a way to be
not only Yves, by the way, Xbox have also come out and said that the correlation is a quadruple A studio. They definitely use these terms in the studios.
From a marketing point of view, yes. I mean, maybe they do. Maybe they go, oh, if it's above this budget, it's a AAA game. Maybe that wouldn't surprise me. But I don't think. Yeah, I think the value in calling something AAA is a vibe.
No, Matt, you're back to your terrible takes.
It's like Larian. It's like Larian being an indie. You go, yeah, all right. In the technical sense, Larian is an indie studio, but it's
Larian
a AAA game.
But you're speaking about it in two different contexts there, right? Like Larian is an independent studio. It is an indie studio, but it has. So wait, bro, this is actually nuts.
Also, there's a dynamic that's being put here of indie and AAA when the AA exists as well. There's a lot of different dynamics for what you would label.
I didn't want to throw a wrench in the works, but I was kind of leaning on Redfall being a AA. But for the sake of
no way,
no
way. Do you know how much marketing money went behind that alone?
Mm-hmm.
Sure.
THQ is a AA. Anything THQ, that's AA.
Sure.
They're not getting ads on Twitch after every single video.
Yeah.
Like you can't call
you're right. You're right.
Buses. I'm talking about buses with bloody posters up of it. Like that's not AA. I'm sorry, no way.
But you do keep going back to, and God, the audience are tired of this conversation, I bet. But you do keep coming back to marketing when you're talking about AAA.
No, that's just one aspect of it.
Seems to be the aspect that you're most interested in.
No, I think it's the aspect that I'm fixated on to win this argument.
Okay.
Why do you have to win the argument, and why can't we not just move on and leave it to the comments section?
I can't wait for agree or disagree this week.
I'm going to say agree or disagree. Hi-Fi Rush is an indie.
Hi-Fi.
No.
Moving on.
There's also not.
Here's what I would give you if you wanted to label all of those games AA. Cool, I'm with you.
And to be fair, that's fine. Yeah,
AA.
Yeah,
that's fine. Yeah, I think you can make the argument. I think there is less money put into those games than other games. Guys,
I went to Rare Studios and saw where they made this fucking game. Like,
Oh, no,
I've been to a lot of
back you. I think-
studios. I'm telling you right now, Sea of Thieves is not a AA game.
I back you. I think Sea of Thieves is a AAA game. Grounded, Pentiment, Hi-Fi Rush are not AAA games, is what I was saying.
I
I'm
can.
cool with calling them double A.
Yeah.
All right, moving on. Riot Games fighting game Project L is now TXKO. Crash, talk to me. Fighting games is your aspect. What's wrong with this name? What's going on?
So they've been working with the name Project L, which I've grown quite attached to ever since they dropped the actual name of this game and missed it a little bit. They announced that the name has officially changed. They changed their names on all the platforms, Twitter, whatever. It's 2XKO everywhere now, and it is maybe one of the most horrendous titles for a game I've ever seen. Makes sense
What makes sense?
why they named it.
Why?
Because normally a lot of their games don't sell very well. So what they want to do is when somebody goes on to search for a game, that this is one of the first games that pops up just alphabetically because it has a 2 at the front of it.
Oh,
It's 101 Dalmatians on the SNES.
Yeah.
interesting.
I don't know if
excited
that.
for this game still?
I'm still excited for it.
Yeah.
Question. Have they come out and said it's 2x KO or is it 2 times KO?
2X KO.
That's how you're supposed to say it?
I believe so.
Okay.
I could be incorrect about that.
2
But
times
I think
not
2
KO?
times KO. You could call it either one.
Sure.
Don't think it's a great name.
Neither
No.
of them roll off the tongue, do they?
I mean, 2x is
2X
fine.
KO is better than 2 times KO. I think.
I agree.
I mean,
And it all depends
semantics.
what people are going to end up calling it, right?
I'm going to say a pile of
Yeah.
shit and a pile of shit with glitter. It's still a pile of shit at the end of the day.
Wow.
Did a pile of shit at the end of the day. That's my northerner right there. Moving on, Tekken 8 has sold over 2 million in a month. Yeah, it's one of the games I've obviously missed this year so far. Is that a good start to where we're at right now, Crash? 2 million? Are we happy with that?
Yeah, I think it's matching Street Fighter 6 with sales as far as like the month in. I think Mortal Kombat was 3 million, and Mortal Kombat's like mainstream wise more popular. So I think it's sitting at a good number at 2 million right now, a month into sales. I think overall sales for Tekken 7 were 11 million or 12 million or something like that. Yeah, they were 12 million over the lifespan of that game. So you're already at, what is it, a sixth of that, a fifth of that. That's a pretty good spot to be in, I think, a month into the game's release.
Yeah, currently outpacing Tekken 7 sales when that released, which is amazing. Obviously, that's always what you want to see for game developers, especially at the moment with all the firings. God, this industry, it confuses me. It confuses me. Boys, it's that game time. How about I'll take it this week? You guys can ask me questions, yes or no, and you need to guess the game that I am thinking of. You will have 1 minute and 30 to do so. Score points are looking like this. Crash, currently sitting at 3 points. Matt, currently sitting at 0 points. Despawn, currently sitting at 1 point. And me, currently sitting at 2 points.
This is my week.
This is your week.
Is this your week, right?
All
Are
in the
you
shot.
sure?
I'm going to make
sure
notes.
about that?
With Fix, nobody's sure because Fix will give you the wrong information.
If I guess it now before you start the clock, can I have 5 points?
I'll give you 3 points.
I haven't even got a guess, so.
Just guess anything.
Just say
Say
anything
again.
that comes to your
Hi-Fi
mind.
Rush.
No, unfortunately not.
Oh,
That would have been great.
that would have been
Good
great.
try though.
Can I have a go? Can I get 3
Really?
points?
It's not a AAA
No.
game, is it?
Yeah, okay.
Okay.
What order?
Oh, I know what my
We're
first
gonna
question's
go
gonna be.
Crash, Matt, Despawn.
Okay.
Ready?
Ready.
Go.
360 game.
Yes.
Is it a AAA game?
Yes.
Is it exclusive?
No.
EA.
No.
Is it a shooter?
Yes.
Is it Activision?
No.
Ubisoft.
No.
First person shooter?
Yes. No.
No. Is it based in the desert?
I'm sure they have visited the desert.
Capcom?
Nope.
Is the title of the game the main character's name?
No.
Okay. Do you play as part of a squad?
No. Kinda,
2K
man.
game?
No.
Kinda. Oh no. Does it have RPG elements?
Everything has RPG and not. No.
Is it as like? Do you play as just one person?
Yes.
Okay.
Action adventure?
Yes.
Based on a IP or like a movie book franchise?
There are movies. Yes. I'm gonna give you
Female
a
protagonist.
couple more seconds.
No, that's Ubisoft.
Is it a female protagonist?
That's your last question. Yes.
Okay.
I have a guess.
So do I. Let me just delete these.
Oh yeah, so do I. Oh yeah. Yeah.
Matt, you had it. If you just could have clocked it really quickly, you could have stopped a few of these other questions. All right. Everyone written down.
Yeah.
I assume
specific?
you have all got it.
I don't know if I got it.
assume-
I think so.
Okay, we'll start with you then, Crash.
Tomb Raider?
You are correct. Tomb Raider.
Okay.
Tomb Raider had this remaster, so I thought, why not? Tomb Raider Remaster 1, 2, and 3 is out. Yeah, no, we don't need the exact title, so technically, yeah. And
I did write reboot,
she's
but I deleted
technically
it.
not called Tomb Raider, right? It's Lara Croft. So
Yeah, I think that you are more than within. You shouldn't even give me a maybe because I mean I think
that's
some
what
of them
threw me
are
off.
technically Lara Croft : Tomb Raider.
depends
I
on
think.
which game you're referencing, right?
Well, yeah, I think so.
So yeah, I didn't want
I don't
to
think any
throw
of the
you.
new ones.
No, I didn't
but
want to mess you up too much.
Yeah.
And are there RPG elements?
Also, can I clarify something?
Yeah.
I think
Be
Matt
safe.
doesn't get a point here because he was very specific with his answer and said Shadow.
I really
Shadow of
wasn't.
Tomb Raider
Shadow
was,
was-
that was in brackets. That was in
it was
brackets.
an Xbox One game. I'm just saying.
Was it?
I'm not,
Was it?
I'm
There
not
was
doing
no
him like that.
brackets.
I'm
No
not doing him
brackets
like
there.
that.
I'm just
There was a
saying.
question mark. There was a question
no.
mark.
Yeah, because you
I'm not
didn't
doing-
know. You were curious.
I'm not
We-
doing him like that. There's no way.
We
There's
set
no
the
way.
rules right at the beginning that if you name the franchise, you get it.
Yeah, series.
We should add one if you name the specific game. You get a bonus point, but you get nothing if you get it wrong.
Oh, if you go for it, bit of risk, bit of intrigue. I don't
No,
hate
I'm
it.
happy to not. You don't have to. No losing points. But if you can nail the game that I was thinking of from the series, I'm down
You
to
get a
add that
bonus
as a
point?
rule.
Yeah.
You get a bonus point. That would help people
Okay.
catch up if
Can
they
we-
get behind.
Can we get bonus points for like the year it came out, the studio
No.
that developed it, the publisher?
No.
Just start like listing all the details.
The guy who delivered the post.
You get one game right, and he's gonna know so many facts. It
Yeah.
was exactly 172 people working on this game up until this date, where it dropped to 152, and it
I'll
was
tell you
crazy.
what I'm
No
happy
cheat
for
code.
people to do. Like you could do like one bonus thing like each time. So like my
Oh.
one, I could ask you a question. How could I do it? I could do it like, can you tell me what console this game first launched on for a bonus answer? For a bonus
Yeah,
point.
so it's
And then
when you
everyone would
say
write
it,
that down.
game and bonus
No,
question
but
at the same time.
I'd have to say it afterwards. We'd have to do it after the
Okay,
fact.
so it'd be something about after the
yeah.
fact.
Okay.
Yeah.
The only problem is we always try and nail that down, like what console it launched on. So I get what you're saying, but you'd have to come up with something
you'd
that
have
we
to
haven't
come up with
already
something.
got
Yeah.
in the time. So,
Very
yeah.
true. Very true. Well, points anyway. You have Crash sitting at 4 points in the lead. Matt P Video is finally off the board with 1 point. We have got Mr. Paul D Spawn currently sitting at 2 points, and we have me also sitting at 2 points.
It's
Go on, please.
sorry, I was just going to say
Oh,
it
please.
feels less good when everybody gets it, and it doesn't actually make any difference that I scored a point.
You're
Yeah,
1 point
fake win.
closer to Fix.
That
Yeah,
is true.
Fix
because
didn't
Fix
get
was
a
host.
point.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
Yeah, that hurts. That hurts. Fix a sack to jump in. Remember, you can email in myxboxandmepodcast@gmail.com, or you can hit us up in our Discord, the My Xbox and Me Discord. Links go out on Twitter and are in the description of this video. First question comes from Origin Cookie Man. It says, recently started Persona 3 Reloaded. I realized that I have only managed to enjoy the game due to the flexibility of ways in which I can play desktop, PC after logging off to for work, living room sofa, on the Xbox via VR xCloud/mobile before bed. Excuse me. Like the Switch before, the flexibility is the easiest way I can make time for gaming. If I had to guess which new screen Xbox will expand to next, what would you choose? A, dedicated handheld. B, new platform, e.g. Netflix app. C, smartwatch. D, other. Good question, Origin Cookie Man. I like this. We'll start with you, Matt. What you got? Xbox have to expand to a new place. Where are they going?
Gotta be the TV app. I think the more I think about it, the more maybe I believe that there is some magic hardware in the Samsung TVs that mean they can do it with Samsung TVs and not other TVs. But I very much struggle to believe it. Like, I don't know. Like GeForce Now is on some TVs, isn't it? I don't know.
Yeah. Yep, it is.
TV app. You've got to go TV app.
Okay. Crash?
Well, a dedicated handheld, I think.
Is that what you're giving me?
Shaking your head?
Is that what you're giving me? we do a podcast once a week, my friend. I kind of want more than that.
I thought the silence would speak louder than words. I think having hardware people can take with them places that's easier to travel, that's easier to use in different rooms in your house as well, I think would be nice. And something that's more than just streaming necessarily, where that obviously could be an option, but you could also have the games hardware like on the hardware itself. I think would be very nice. I think we're seeing a rise of it, and I think Microsoft, with the way they've set up Xbox, would have a chance to sort of be on the ground level for a handheld in ways that a lot of other companies can't be.
Eastbourne?
I'm kind of with Matt on this one. I think the Netflix style app is the way to go. Like you say, seeing it on the Samsung TVs. I think that was just an agreement. I think they got the early adoption agreement. Because I mean, what do you really need to run xCloud? Like a Wi-Fi connection.
Yeah, and it is bullshit because they backdated it to all the Samsung TVs that didn't have that magic hardware and that was claiming it existed initially. So yeah, I agree with you, but like you say, if that was an early adopter contract, it's been long enough. Yeah. Like, my God.
I agree with both of you as well. I would say TVs in general. But my thing would be, I think what it might be is currently it's still in beta. So I feel like they are still technically beta testing the F out of this on the Samsung TVs. I've still tried again. I cannot play games on my one upstairs in the bedroom. It just doesn't, it crashes every 2 seconds. Like it just doesn't work. Yeah, it does not work. I mean, could be just an internet problem, which is very annoying, but doesn't change the fact that, I cannot use my one, which is the whole reason I bought the TV, which is really annoying. I'd love to see a TV that has a hard drive built into it so I can download games onto it.
I can see that.
I think something like that. Something like that would be nuts. Yeah. Like if you could get me a 1 terabyte SSD TV.
But then at that point, you need the TV to be able to actually play the game.
I know. But like, so I know. Give me a PC TV, okay? That's what I want. Okay,
they exist. They're called PCs.
Oh.
Yeah, you could just nail a Series S into the back of your TV, and I'm sure it would work.
Just nail it directly in there, like
straight. Just pneumatic drill. Yeah, just get at it.
Oh, that could be mad. Lee Evans says, as things progress hardware-wise, Pro models except, the Series S would be harder and harder to keep supporting. Do you think this would become the cloud streaming device and that this is the reason Xbox seemingly ditched Project Keystone? I don't think so. I do think it could. I think Xbox look at all of their hardware currently as streaming devices more than they do consoles, internal consoles only, if you know what I mean. I don't think it gets harder and harder. It's like saying the older iPhones get harder and harder to develop for. I don't think that's the case. I think it comes down to developers want to get more and more out of their apps / products, and that's why they have to drop off these older systems, which I think is what's going to happen with game development. I think eventually we're going to get to a point where Xbox are going to have to, they've already bent the rule once for Baldur's Gate. So I think they're going to bend the knee again, where it comes down to a case of, well, we want Baldur's Gate 7, whatever, I'm just using that as the example here. It's the Power World. Imagine Power World could only run on Series X and not Series S. I think they would have bent the knee and made it happen. I do generally believe that. They can't miss out on, especially now that they are an ecosystem, they can't now be like, oh, well, that doesn't fit with our other products in our ecosystem. No, that's not how this works, right? Like, Apple have proven how the ecosystem world works. You buy the product, you enjoy the product until it gets slow or they start destroying your battery on purpose. Yeah, I know you're doing that, Apple. Stop it. And then we go from there. And I think that's where Xbox are going to be at the same place, where it's like, they won't be able to dictate to developers as much anymore. Because I think if all the developers just go, we're not doing this for Series S anymore, I don't think Xbox is going to go, oh no, don't put it on our Series X. I think they're going to go, okay, what's the workaround in messaging? But you can stream the games to your Series S.
Yeah, I think that's what we're going to get. We're going to get similar to, I think, obviously, Switch do it a fair bit now in Japan specifically, and I think they brought it to a couple of Western games where there'll be certain games that can straight up not run on a Switch. So it's streamed instead, or you download a portion of it, and the majority of it is run online. I think we'll start seeing that. So again, I've talked about it in the past. I definitely use my Xbox One X downstairs in the living room, and I stream series version games on that, and it works really well. So yeah, I can see there's definitely going to be a time in the future, how soon that time is, where the Series S version will only be a streamed version. And it'll only be available to play natively on X, because we're going to get to a point where it's just not going to be powerful enough. And the only way to keep that parity is to, like we say, make it a streamed version of it, or just not support the S altogether.
I think the moment we see an official shift from Microsoft will be when they have a first-party game that they're trying to work out, and they're like, the Series S just isn't working for it. It'll be like a Gears of War or a Halo, or even the next Elder Scrolls game or whatever it is, where they'll be like, hey, this game just isn't working on Series S. We're going to start rolling out the messaging. Hey, this game will be playable on all platforms, Series S included. But if you want to play it on Series S, it has to be streamed through the cloud, because they'll give it some fancy wording that doesn't sound like, hey, this can't run it, but it'll be like, for the best experience, we had to make it that you had to stream the game on the platform, or whatever the way they decide to do it. But I do think we'll start seeing more games that are so like, we're not going to budge on this. It's either not coming to Xbox, or it's going to be a delayed launch for whatever, and Microsoft's just going to start caving in more and more for that, I think.
Yeah. Matt?
I don't know, man. Like I think the Series S has such a huge install base that you kind of get into that situation where, people were making PS4 games for a long old time because that's where the audience was. And so, like, I get that we're making these concessions with a Baldur's Gate. I just don't know what the next game is that would do that would be willing to disregard a significant portion of the Series S audience that probably don't have good enough internet for cloud. I think we'll get to a point where that won't be an issue, and that'll be a significantly smaller portion of the audience who own Series S's that don't have good enough internet, yada yada. But a lot of kids have Series S just for Minecraft and Fortnite, and dipping into stuff on Game Pass probably.
Yeah, but I don't think any of those people are going to be at a loss then, are they? Because they're not going to care about Elder Scrolls 6 or whatever else.
Sort of what I was thinking is the game that they would care about that I could see this happening to first would be like a Call of Duty. But I think Activision and Call of Duty as a franchise probably stick around on older consoles longer than most franchises, and would sacrifice their own visual fidelity in favor of keeping a larger audience.
Yeah,
I also think that
sorry, go ahead.
I was gonna say I also could see them, because of their size, more willing to put the budget into having a less optimal version being produced for the Series S separately.
Absolutely. And it was like a slightly different version of the game or whatever. So yeah, I agree.
Next question. Main event Kirk says, I hope it's Kurum, not Kirk. Kurum says, what is the one game you feel needs a second chance / remake? For me, it would be State of Emergency and The Bouncer. My friend, you have absolutely nailed that question, because I agree with both of those answers. Both fantastic answers, in my opinion. But it's not the right answer, unfortunately. Ooh. The right answer, there's two, and everyone knows. Anyone who's listened to this podcast long enough knows that Simpsons Hit and Run needs a sequel. We've spoken about it ad nauseum. There's no point me going over that one. That's my number one answer every single time. Number two has to be Bully. Like the fact that Bully hadn't got a sequel or even a remake at this point. Though I am kind of scared about remakes when it comes to Rockstar. I have to be honest. Yeah. Because San Andreas should have been the biggest game ever.
Yeah.
Just so people are aware. Remake of San Andreas, like from the ground up, and I know this wasn't wasn't technically from the ground up, right? This was a
I was gonna say When I'm looking at this, I'm thinking of like a Final Fantasy VII remake or a Resident Evil remake or something like that.
Exactly.
Yeah. Bully was going to be my answer as well. I think there's there's not a lot of games I think you could say that deserves one as much as Bully, with the possibility of having the reach of Bully.
It's gonna sound stupid, but you know what else? It's another Rockstar game. A table tennis game was actually pretty amazing.
Yeah.
So I know you think I'm joking. I'm memeing.
I don't think you're joking.
This is not a Jar Jar situation. I'm being serious.
I think table tennis falls into the same level of fucking Bouncer, maybe less than Bouncer.
What do you mean? No, Bouncer 100%. You're an idiot. You don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
You're fired. Honestly, go on, Despawn.
I mean, just selfishly, I just give me Dino Crisis. God damn it.
Who cares? I'm sorry, I'll say it. Crisis weren't that good.
Oh, you're wrong.
Don't get me wrong. I would enjoy a Dino Crisis remake, especially from the ground up. But Dino Crisis wasn't that good.
Right. Alternative
Dino
option.
Crisis is a better idea than executed.
Yes.
Which means a ground up remake could be phenomenal.
A ground up remake where they very loosely take from the original and rework things to make it.
Give me a basic story from it. Yeah.
The original doesn't even make any sense. It was like Resident Evil back then. It made no fucking sense.
Yeah. Exactly that, right? It's Resident Evil engine, world mechanics, gameplay with dinosaurs.
It's gonna happen. And the problem with that one is that's actually gonna happen.
Yeah, eventually. There's enough outcry for it. And then
100%.
It's also like remakes are going to run dry for Capcom, and they're going to be like, we have no more Resident Evils to remake. We either restart remaking like 6 or something like that, or we go into Dino Crisis.
They remake Resident Evil 6 before they remake Dino Crisis.
Yeah, definitely.
You think so?
Oh no, I think they would, because I think there's more of a market for them to sell Resident Evil than there is Dino Crisis.
That's fair.
I was going to say an alternative option, personally for me, because we're about to get it this week. I want a Final Fantasy VIII remake.
Yes,
there he is. I've got him back. Give me Final Fantasy VIII. Without
can that one come to Xbox?
Yes, that can come to Xbox. Without the god awful junction system, please. Give me a new system.
I like junction system.
No, standing around for 5 minutes, drawing magic out of enemies, just to then hit them once and the fight be over. No, I'm good.
You can make it better. But I think conceptually it's cool.
The idea and the law behind it makes sense, but yeah, just as a gameplay mechanic, it is so dull and slows down fighting.
Do you actually think it happens? Do you actually think we see a Final Fantasy look at 7 right now? And we know 7 is obviously a whole different level compared to any other Final Fantasy game to exist. Being honest, do you actually think we see 8, and do you think we see 9, and do you think we see 10? Like, do you think we see that happen now, or no way?
10 yes.
10 yes. 9
10's huge.
probably.
I actually have a really soft spot for the beginning. Again, like all Final Fantasy games, I played the start of them, didn't get any further. Got to Blitzball in 10.
Blitzball is super fun.
Blitzball amazing. Like I had a really good time with the spectacle of 10 is magical.
Yeah, the world and the spectacle of 10 is fantastic. I could definitely see them doing 10. I don't know genuinely if I could see them doing 8. I think there's enough issues with the mechanics of the game. But again, they changed the mechanics of 7 completely.
Yeah.
And they made it really
I would
good.
expect them to like rework try and keep the core of what's there while reworking it all.
Yeah. I could see them making that again. I think that's more scope to be a more action-based RPG as well than even 7 was, and they managed to nail it with 7. So yeah, I could see them doing 8, but I think the story's infinitely bigger than 7 is at one point. But just like scope, not like popularity. But no, I could see 10 being the most popular one to be doing next. But I want 8 so bad.
I'm thinking really hard and struggling because like Bully is such a good shout, but I'd so much rather a Bully sequel that is targeted at this generation of kids and has social media and has commentary on TikTok and has commentary on all that stuff.
Saints Row tried that. Look what happened. No, thank you.
The problem with that is you'd need a younger like group of developers. Because you have to remember when they made the original Bully, everybody at the studio was younger, and you have old heads who will be planning stuff, and you'll have people who just are out of touch with the youngest stuff. I agree,
but I think Rockstar are the team to do it. And even if you said, okay, it's actually a Bully game set in 2005, right? And it's that generation, millennials essentially. And like, I'd still rather that, right? Like, I'd rather a modern to have a take on a more modern day culture, right?
I would love something smaller from Rockstar, like Bully. Bully is so, and obviously it's still a AAA game.
Is it?
But
indie game? What are you talking about?
Indie game. You're right. No, but like, you're right. Like, I think just the premise of like school, a little area where you go off, like the carnival area that you had, a couple of little streets that you can like nothing. It's that one thing where like bigger is not always better. Yeah. And I feel like if Rockstar could have a little team that's just like, we're working on Bully 2. Like Bully 2 must not have done the sequel they had in the works, because there was a sequel in the works. It must have been bad because they cancelled that.
It's hard to believe, but yeah, I guess, right? Like, how good, I agree with you. How good would it be if you had like a little 5-hour Bully generation, right? And then they just make a new one of them every now and again, and it's Generation Millennials, Generation Z, Generation whatever, blah, 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 blah. That'd be so fucking good. But it'll never happen.
No.
I think one issue with Bully that the industry was sort of pivoting towards was like these bigger open world, ginormous experiences. And I think with the size and the length it takes to develop games, we might sort of see a growth in the opposite direction. So I do think there's a possibility in the future for a Bully to exist comfortably for a Rockstar, but
give me a remake first though, man. I'd love a Unreal Engine 5 remake of Bully 1. I'd play the shit out of that. Okay, great question. Great question. Last but not least, we got Yami here saying, going off Anubis's question, what about the slew of rare games that also hit Nintendo Switch online this week? I had said in our Discord, quote, just want to say that this is how companies should be if their previous games were released elsewhere, end quote. And believe it, if Xbox bought, let's say, Ben's Studio, then I'd love to see them bring the Budsy 3D to PlayStation Plus or something like that. Was this a question, Yami? Or did you do the thing that I don't like, which is answer questions in the goddamn Discord? This is your final warning. If you are asking questions, don't go in our section where it says ask questions and start answering the questions. The questions are for us. Let me finish. If you want to answer the questions, you do it in the game discussion. You do it in the podcast discussion. You do it somewhere else. All right? Got it?
Technically, a question was asked.
Yeah, no, he's right. I do agree. I do actually agree. No, I think it's the right thing to do, right? If you buy a studio that has a legacy I think even Crash, for instance, right? Like if they won't ever do it because it's already been done. But if they were to remake a Crash Bandicoot, like, or Spyro's not been done, right? They didn't remake Spyro 1. If that ever got remade, I don't think it wouldn't be right not to bring that to the fan base that made it popular in the first place.
What about sequels?
A sequel's a different story for me.
Yeah, I don't know about like sequels and remakes. I feel like whoever owns those IPs should decide where they want to go. Is it right or wrong to just not put them on the platform they came from? That is what it is. But I think that specifically when we're talking about like re-releasing old versions of the games, like say we had the Rare Replay, that kind of thing, like I had nothing against seeing like a Rare Replay show up on Nintendo due to the fact that Rare had such a lineage with them back in the day. Yeah, I've got no problems with, like, say, releasing the pre-existing games. That's fine by me. To be fair, the way that we've talked about it as well, the way that the market's going anyway, we're going to start seeing all games everywhere anyway. So it doesn't matter if I like it or not. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. Like, personally, if you buy a company, then release the games for your company.
I think you release them wherever you want.
Yeah.
Well, game is old. Nobody cares.
Facts.
True.
There are people that definitely care, but we don't.
Yeah. No, that was.
I just want to point out that Matt earlier in this podcast said he's going to be replaying Elden Ring.
Old game.
Yeah, but Elden Ring's Elden Ring, isn't it?
Yeah, it's old.
Just like Resident Evil 2's Resident Evil 2. You're right, my friend. You're right. You're right. Never give me shit ever again about playing that. All right, go ahead. Thank you. Let's plug.
Never giving you shit
and
about
get
playing.
ourselves out of here. Hey, Matt, do you know I just had a fault? You're a bitch. Plug. Let's get ourselves out of here. Crash, what you got to plug this week?
My Xbox and Me YouTube page. We did the Baldur's Gate first part last week, this Saturday, which wasn't too long ago, but you guys can go up there. Last Saturday.
This Saturday?
Was it this Saturday? It was this Saturday.
Oh, last Saturday.
This Saturday gone.
This Saturday gone.
We all
Last
agree that
Saturday.
he signed that incorrectly, right? We
Last
all
It's
agree
last
that he
Saturday. You're
signed that
correct.
wrong.
Mm-hmm.
You're correct.
This Saturday would be the Saturday coming.
Yes, you're correct.
Okay.
You are correct.
All right,
Thank you, Fix, for correcting me. I am so proud to have you as a friend.
Hey, motherfucker. Yeah, how many times you correct me? You fucking...
A lot, and I hate how it feels when you correct me. So now I understand, and I won't be doing it any less. But I get it. Okay, I get it.
Love that.
Matt, what are you going to plug this week?
I'll do a real plug this week. The Future Game Showcase March edition just got announced March 21st in your respective time zone. I don't know. You can figure that bit out. Hosted by Ben Starr, Clive from Final Fantasy 16, and Samantha Bayard, who plays Karlach in Baldur's Gate. It's going to be a good old time. And on the Future Game Show channel, after the fact, we're going to have lots of cool extended looks at some of the games we've got in the showcase. I'm also producing the official post show called the Expansion Pack, which is the first one of those that we're doing. Developer interviews, extended looks at games, cool stuff happening.
Oh,
check it out.
Okay. Matt's actually working. Crazy.
Damn.
Who would have thought it? Who would have thought it?
Never stop.
Always working. Teaspoon, what you got to plug this week, dude?
The YouTube channel, My Xbox and Me. Go check out my review of Brothers: A Tale of Two Sons. I can talk about it now. I mean, by the time this comes out, I'll have been able to talk about it for about a week. But yes, go check out the review. I had a lot of fun with that game. How much fun?
Great game.
There's only one way to find out.
How many
Great
eggs
game.
out of
Great
10?
review.
How many eggs out of 10?
You want him to spoil his review?
Yeah, I'm
I
not spoiling
asked how
the
many
review.
eggs. Since when do we start reviewing games with eggs, Crash?
Yeah, God.
There's a clear like transferable number between eggs to actual, because everybody knows 3 eggs is one whole number.
That's true.
So
yeah.
you acting like you don't know this is pretty wild.
Yeah, the fact that you don't know the 3-to-1 ratio. Wow.
Yeah.
That's crazy, buddy.
Yeah,
I'm sorry. I
scrambled,
disrespected
sunny
you.
side up, hard boiled. What is it?
Yeah,
This
like
one?
again, it changes depending on the type of egg. Yeah.
Interesting.
I'm gonna say it is 14 scrambled out of 10.
Nice. That's crazy.
Think of that as you will.
Okay. Yeah, you can find me everywhere at MC Fixer. What am I promoting right now? Nothing really. Twitch.tv/MC Fixer. Catch me live over on Ubisoft. Ubisoft.com/twitch.tv/Ubisoft. I guess. yeah, just out there doing the things. Support us on Patreon, patreon.com/mcfixer. Please support us financially. It would help a lot, and we can start doing even cooler, bigger things like we want to. Until next time, we'll love you. Leave it. See you later. Good boy.